So hello everyone, I'm Alizé Vivès. As Carol said, I work at Scientam as a medical innovation project manager. I'm a pharmacist and I'm very happy to be here today. Thank you to the association to give me this opportunity to present at Scientam and what we do with our digital biomarkers. So at Scientam, to be quick, it's a medical tech that was created 10 years ago with one mission, and it's still the same today, to revolutionize the way to measure and predict the evolution of severe and disabling diseases to accelerate research and improve patient care. We made a bet on an innovative way to collect data, which are digital biomarkers. To give you a quick definition of what are digital biomarkers, it's physiological and behavioral measures that are generated by patients, and I would say it's in the opposite of standard biomarker, which may come from biology, RMI, or physician-reported. It's collected through digital devices and processed by algorithm to become leveraging information. It is also clinically validated to be useful in medical practice and clinical trial. At Scientam, we identified two main use cases to use and leverage on those measures. The first one is to improve patient care by enabling remote monitoring and enabling also more personalized care. On the other side, it can help to accelerate research, to explore the effectiveness of the drugs tested, and to have an innovative way to perform clinical trials. With this bet on digital biomarkers, we also made a critical choice to rely only on smartphones, and especially on the patient's smartphones. Patients are invited, patient and caregiver, of course, are invited to collect these measures on the smartphone, performing some tests. They are also able to answer to questionnaires such as quality of life or insomnia, pain, etc. And this mobile application is also an engagement tool, as the patient and their family are able to see those results in the app. On the other side, for the physician web portal, data are transmitted in real time, so as patients, they are able to see the results of the tests. The data are stored in secured servers, so we are GDPR compliant, so very concerned about patient privacy. And all those measures are used by the medical team to support their medical decision, or by a clinical study team to assess the effectiveness of the drug. The question now is, how can we capture those data with the smartphones? So, as you may know, smartphones has a large range of sensors embedded in the small device. And to give you a short example, using the GPS and the accelerometer, we are able to measure the walking capacity of a patient and capturing, for example, the walking speed or the distance of the walk. With our 10-year experience now, we are able to say that we started working on central nervous system diseases with our first project in multiple sclerosis. But then we identified needs and unmet needs in other diseases that could benefit from those digital biomarkers, especially in rare disease and psychiatric disorders. As you can see some big names on this slide, most of our projects are co-financed with pharma companies or public stakeholders. To give you a quick overview of our first software as a medical device accepted on the market. It's MS Copilot, so for patients living with multiple sclerosis. It's a CE mark software, so authorized by the health authorities. The project was developed with a board of MS experts and the board also of patients. Especially, we worked with 6 French patient advocacy groups to develop and co-design the solution, which include different tests to evaluate different capacity of MS patients. For example, walk, dexterity, cognition. Those tests and the performance of those tests was assessed in a clinical trial, and 2 different clinical trials against the gold standards and the scales that are used in the clinical practice. Those results was published, and we are super happy that we are able to help multiple sclerosis patients for their self-assessment, so at home. And we have quite good numbers of users to date. I don't know if that will work. Just to show you some really quick tests. This is the dexterity test. So to assess fine dexterity of the upper limb. All the interfaces in our app is the same, with first part with a tutorial to guide patients to use the test and to perform the test. I say patient, but it's the duet patients and their family to perform the test. So first tutorial, and then the test is launched. It's quite simple to take the ball into the hole with sounds. Sorry. So quite fun interface. Those interfaces was tested with patients and with clinicians to be sure that it's easy to understand, easy to use. The second example I wanted to present is the cognition test. Here, again, we have the same flow with tutorial to help patients and their family to understand. It's short tests, so with a little burden for patient and family to self-assess the symptoms. The idea in multiple sclerosis was to provide a solution for monthly assessments where in clinical practice, patients go to see their neurologist only once a year. So it's objective data and more frequent data complementary to the yearly visits. Thanks to all those assets we have been gathering for the 10 past years, we were recently contacted by Ceres Brain Therapeutics to explore how those digital biomarkers may be helpful for creatine transporter deficiency. And thanks to the first discussion we had with Carole and Frank and the Ceres team, we identified unmet needs and needs for those digital biomarkers. We identified that no specific scales to assess the symptoms, evaluate and follow the evolution of the child. So a need for researchers, for clinicians, but also a hope for families to get objective data to follow the progression of the disease. That is why we are launching a new program to develop new digital biomarkers to be able to better assess CTD symptoms. The idea of this new program is to launch a first exploratory campaign which aims to assess the feasibility to develop this app. And that is why in early October, so in the next coming days, we will interview patients and their families to evaluate their ease of use, behavior in front of the tool, to testing the different modules, including the one I've presented today. And in order to be able to capture information on how our interfaces should be adapted to the needs of CTD patients. So the interviews will be conducted in person in Paris, and it will be 1 hour interviews. We are with our user experience research team at Scientam. So short is better. If you want to take part to this study, please enter your email contact scanning this QR code, or you can write us an email. And if you want, I have some flyers to take home and have the time to think about it. That's it for me. Thank you again for this opportunity, and thank you all for your attention.